everyone, it's Kris from the Reformed Grognard with another unboxing video. I don't know what this is, something from Quartermaster Logistics that showed up while I was out of town on a convention. I think it's one of 3 things I'm expecting, but I legitimately have no idea which. So let's find out. Ooh, this is what I was hoping it was. This is Awkward Guests, which I've been very intrigued by, very interested in, and it's a bigger, heavier box than I expected it to be, truth be told. Alright, so this is exciting. I am really excited about this game. I think it looks really fun. So the Awkward Guest is a mystery and deduction card game. They claim you'll never play 2 similar games. They use something called the Brilliant Deck system, and basically it's a app or assigned things in here that you pull certain cards out and put certain cards in to play each one. This looks like it's a Kickstarter edition item of some sort. I honestly don't know that much about what all I got in this. I basically just saw it. It looked like something my wife would like, and I backed it. Okay, so the Awkward Guests here is a fun looking game. I don't know that much about it. This looks like it's a kind of a preliminary prep, behind the scenes art thing. It does actually have some additional cases in it, which is kind of cool. Interesting. Okay. That's really nice. I hope it fits in the game itself, but we'll see. So this is a Kickstarter game that is not US based, and they, oh, I love that, that's fun. Did some really great things. They did some weird things while they were running the Kickstarter. They were not real excellent at keeping backers updated on where things were, or they were responding to questions weirdly, but it came, and that's better than I can say for some of the games that have been happening lately, it seems like. I love the little bit of spot gloss on this. This game is for 1 to 8 players, 12 and up, 45 to 75 minutes. This is a full box. Something tells me real solidly that the expansion stuff is not going to fit in here. So let's find out. Inside of the box is just an inside of a box. These are glossy. Okay, so I think these are the player screens that everybody gets. And if I remember right, this is one point of contention, is there's one tiny little problem with it, and people are freaking out that they had to use a sticker or something. I'm not really too concerned about that, frankly. So this is kind of neat. It's a kind of a hint sheet, reference guide, also hides your particular investigations from the other players. It's like you get pretty good amount of them, man, ton of them. So you get 6, yeah, you get 8 of them, which I think is kind of interesting that they're identical, but that's cool. That's overkill because I don't think I'll ever have 8 people playing this game, but cool. So the investigation begins. Kind of a strangely shaped instruction book. It's kind of hard to browse through, but it's nicely laid out, it looks like. Kind of tells you how to play the game, how to set up the game. And then it's got all sorts of cases. So what these are is they show your difficulty on the case. It also shows what cards to use for it, and then it's got the solutions for it, so obviously we don't want to see that. I kind of wish those had been a little more separated than that so I don't accidentally stumble across them, because it looks like there are cases on the same page as solutions. This is why it's so heavy. It has a fairly good sized score sheet to keep track of your investigations as you're playing the game. It's double-sided, so that's nice. Feels like the paper's pretty good. I really like this map and everything. It's really cool. Interesting. This game is very intriguing to me. So it's got just a single sheet of tokens. It looks like they punch out really nicely. It's super simple. I believe this is actually like shapes into like a hidden folder that you keep stuff in, but it's weird that it's only got the 3 sides on it. That's interesting. Guess it's almost just a cover. Oh look, that's Columbo right there. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. And then it's got a ton of cards. So the thing with the cards is I don't want to pull any of these out too dramatically, just because I don't personally want to spoil things. And although I don't think you really can because of the way that the game is set up, they are organized specifically by number, because you've got to pull certain ones out. So like you pick number 223 and card 40. So pulling any of these out of order is going to make things difficult. But I like the design on them. I really like the aesthetic of this game. It's all sepia. The art's pretty fun. These are interesting. So the kitchen knife was not the murder weapon. This is really interesting. So basically these are clues or the results of investigations, and depending on what case you're playing, you have different cards you end up with. So we've got a pretty significant amount. So that's interesting. This one's got a different back on it than the others. This is a little flimsy, but it's fairly well made. It's weirdly empty considering how much stuff is in the top of it. Like if this was just a little lower, then it looks like the book would have fit into it, but that's a pretty thick book in an already thick case. But honestly, as rarely as I'll use all 8 of those screens, I may actually pull those out and keep the book inside instead, just so that I have all the stuff together. This is interesting. I'm really looking forward to diving into this game and figuring out some more about it. But how interesting. Okay, so there's just a few that are the character cards, and then the rest of these are just more of the standard backed investigation cards, it looks like. So we've got Confidential, then we've got Stanley Smythe, Mortimer Mullow, I love the alliteration, Greg Gaffney, Claudette Cazalar, Hermanus Berwick, and Angelica Albinson. Those are some names that are going to take some getting used to. And I believe those are the suspects for the game. And then your investigators are the other characters on the cards here, who are, I'm not going to name names, but they're pretty specific, inspired characters from other detective stories. So that's interesting. Okay, so that's the base game right there. It's fairly simple. It's literally just a big pile of cards and a few tokens. So that's cool. It's interesting. I do think it's kind of intriguing that they have designed these to fit down into the slot nicely, so that's cool. I am really excited about trying this game out, but I'm also very intrigued as to how easily it's going to play. I hope it plays smoother than it kind of looks like it's going to, but we'll see. That looks like, man, that looks like it's revealing stuff in the back here. I'm gonna have to be really careful about how you flip through things with this. Then again, there's enough cases that it looks like it's easy to forget. Also, this is the Kickstarter exclusive stuff here. They have an app, and I haven't touched the app, I haven't loaded it. It sounds like there was some issues with it not loading in English for it. It defaults to Spanish or French or something like that. And I don't know if they fixed that or not. Let's see what's in this one. It does not want to come out as easily. Well, it's got a naked Mr. Walton on it. Hi. Okay, so this has the bust in it, just kind of literally just hanging out. Oh, that's weird. You can see the 3D printing on it. How bizarre. That is really interesting to me that they went that route. It's very hollow, surprisingly lightweight. Huh. How bizarre. It's not even really cleaned up. That's really interesting. Okay. It looks like it comes with a few more cards of some sort. Oh, they're the No, I have no idea what these are, because these are the same characters as the other. Well, I don't know. Okay. It also comes with a portrait of him, a note from him about his murder, which is interesting, and a couple more little cards. It appears to be his cats and maybe a desk. All right, that's Awkward Guests from Megacorpin Games. I'm really intrigued by this. I'm genuinely excited about playing it, but I'm also a little concerned as to what the learning curve is going to be like, so I guess we'll find out. Thanks for watching. May you live in interesting times. And that was another unboxing video from the Reformed Grognard. This was Kris. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. You can also find us on Patreon at patreon.com/deeplydapper. That's also our website, deeplydappergames.com, where you can find links to our podcasts, our shop, and pretty much everything else we do on the World Wide Web and beyond. You can also find us at a lot of upcoming conventions, and follow us on Deeply Dapper Games on Instagram. Thanks again for watching and supporting geeky nerds trying to learn how to play board games.